Jaguar managing director defends company after rebrand sparks confusion. The managing director of Jaguar is defending the luxury car company after it faced online criticism for a controversial rebranding decision. Jaguar last week debuted its new look ahead of its anticipated transition to an electric fleet. The brand appeared to replace its iconic leaping cat image with a more minimalist logo. A new Jaguar advertisement featured bright colors and figures dressed in unusual outfits, but did not include any cars. The clip drew widespread criticism on social media, even garnering attention from ex-owner Elon Musk. Rodden Glover told the UK's The Times on Saturday that the move is part of a new strategy to compete with German car brands like BMW and Mercedes-Benz, which have long achieved consistent annual sales in the millions. "We're our very best when we copy nothing," Glover said, referencing one of the brand's new slogans. "Look, we're unveiling the brand at an art fair rather than a motor show. This is Jaguar being bold, doing things differently." Glover also noted the brand's new approach is not about diversity and inclusivity. He argued it instead represents breaking molds, living vividly, and creating objects of desire that are distinctive and different. And this is from Baltimore Sun. First discussion topic. Is there such a thing as bad press?
Yes.
Totally. The conventional wisdom is there's no such thing as bad press, but bad press is bad press.
Yeah.
This has gotten a lot of people talking about Jaguar. I don't know if that's going to result in them selling a lot of cars.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time in advertising. It's like, are we out for impressions, or are we out there for sales? Because there's a lot of things that will get you a lot of attention and a lot of impressions, but are you interested in buying impressions with your ad campaigns, or are you looking at your bottom line? And sometimes you do need to announce things that aren't going to drive sales. Like you do have to announce, big CEO changes, things like that. You have to announce that. Is that going to drive sales? No. But when you're doing a rebrand, it should inspire people at some point to really choose your brand over someone else's brand. And yeah, there is such thing as bad press. And bad press, the definition of bad press is the press helping you achieve your goals? So we obviously are not on the in. We don't know what Jaguar's goals are. You can obviously imagine what their goals are being a car company. They want to sell cars. Aaron's just bringing up some logos right now from the rebrand. But yeah, bad press is like, yeah, we don't want our brand being in the news unless it's going to help us meet our quarterly or annual goals. And from this one, I don't think this is helping.
I might feel differently about it if they were a smaller company. Right? Because if no one knows who you are, then there's an argument to be made for now people are talking about it. People weren't talking about it before. But people already know.
Yeah, this is a very, very old brand. This has got a lot of history, a lot of heritage. This is one of the older car companies that are out there. With again a lot of built brand reputation. So this is they're it feels like they're going in a completely new direction, that's for sure. This is definitely something that's different.
We can move the discussion conversation along because we've said is there such a thing as bad press? Absolutely. Does pairing a rebrand with a move to all electric make sense?
Now, I didn't read that in the article, if they're moving it to all electric.
Yep, that's in the article.
Oh, sorry, it is.
Yep. Second paragraph.
Yep, it is. Does a rebrand, kind of, if you're making big shifts, dramatic shifts with the company, obviously broadcasting those values out and how you're going to get there is important. So it feels like it's the right time. If you're going to say, hey, we're no longer going to build the sweet engines you've known us for, we're going to build other cool motors that you're going to want, that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. And then here's how we're going to do it in the story and that totally makes sense.
Which brings us to the real question, okay, doing a rebrand in tandem with your electric change, that's a big shift for a company.
Huge.
That's a big shift for your brand and your market. That makes sense. Doing a rebrand now makes total sense.
Yes.
Was this it? No. For a bunch of reasons.
Why don't you break these down?
Well, so we'll come back to the logo itself in a minute, but I want to talk about the positioning first. Because when they say, "Oh, we're launching it at an art show and not an auto show," what's that for? Like that's bold. That's a big bold change, but it's without direction.
Yeah.
Like I don't see a fit there for audience versus brand. Like because we could go market anywhere. You know what? Like we could be marketing any industry through any kind of event.
Yeah.
But if we're not taking into account where the audience is, that doesn't make any sense.
It would make more sense. So like, if you want to get out of the auto industry, find something that's in the electrical industry. Find something that's in like regenerative energy. So find something that's closer to where you're trying to go. And if that's the approach, saying, hey, we're all electric and we make the best motors, put yourself beside the other amazing motor companies out, not automotive motor companies, like who's making the best electronics and the best motors for electric vehicles, go there.
But even then, is that where the customers are?
I don't think outside of like auto shows, I don't know. It doesn't, and I would common sense would tell me no.
Right. We talk about this a lot. This feels to me like marketing people trying to be clever.
Yeah, too clever.
More clever than they actually are.
Yeah.
So I don't see it. I think it's the wrong move. The actual rebrand itself is wild. So I'm going to bring this up. Here's the old logo versus the new logo.
The old logo features a Jaguar.
Yeah, it's wild to me that they dropped the cat. They've had that almost for the full history of the company.
Iconic cat.
Awesome. Like when you picture like a classic Jag, you picture the hood ornament, right? Like that's
big chrome.
Yeah.
Like they're not little. Like if you haven't seen a Jag up close, these hood ornaments are sizable. They don't hide it. It's not like a little tiny little kitty cat. It's a panther. It's huge.
Yeah. So like dropping that part, like that iconic part of the logo, is a wild move to me. I could see modernizing it potentially, right? Like if you want to make some changes, go for it. But to drop it entirely, bold, probably not the right kind of bold. And so now let's talk about bold. It's funny to me that they are framing this as like breaking mold with this bold new logo, and what they've come up with is the most generic logo in the world.
I have some qualms about it, and I'm no designer. So I'll let you explain the logo, and I'll tell you what I hate about it because it stands.
So what do you hate about it? Is the capital G? Because I hate the capital G.
I hate the fact that you've got a capital J and a capital G, and then what you could perceive as a capital U. So you've got like three potential capitals,
and then the two lowercase a's.
Three like
and the lowercase r.
It's like, where are we? Where are we right now? Where's like the consistency?
Imagine like trying to type that out.
Imagine like, car companies want to be known for consistency. We build amazing engines. We build amazing cars. We have the best performance. There's nothing about this that screams performance. There's nothing. I don't even think it screams luxury. And Jaguars are a luxury vehicle. If there's any kind of vehicle out there that's luxury before you get to exotic, it's a Jaguar. It's a luxury. And they're trying to compete with BMW and Mercedes-Benz, two other luxury class sedans.
Yeah.
Or
companies. I agree. There's nothing that screams luxury about it. Like we could nitpick the capitals and the lower cases all we want. I think it's a goofy decision.
It's a goofy decision.
The funniest thing to me is I think it's behind the curve. They're trying.
Actually, yeah.
So I wanted to bring up a comparison because the first thing I thought of is a logo I actually really like. It's the Pepsi logo.
Yep.
If I go and I bring up the Pepsi logo history. And you take a look at,
they're back there
all the way. Yeah,
they're back there.
Well, so the 2014 is probably.
So use your mouse so they can see where.
The mouse is right there. Anyway. There. The 2014 logo is the current logo that they still basically use on all their cans. It's fine.
That's 10 years old.
It makes a lot more sense for Pepsi when you've got like the classic rounded logo mark that pairs with it. It makes tons of sense. But you're right, 10 years old.
10 years old.
And so I just don't think that leaning into a 10-year-old aesthetic
is not cutting edge. And again, go back to their words. Copy nothing. Copy nothing.
Yeah,
it's 10 years old. The font is 10 years old already. And really, in another month, it'll be 12 years old or 11 years old. Sorry.
Now I don't want to say that they copied the Pepsi logo. I think it's pretty clear they didn't.
But like the font decisions, like the.
But like that's just, using those really rounded geometric shapes. It looks nice. Like that is a nice way to design a logo. There's just nothing bespoke or specifically luxury about it, and there's nothing mold breaking about it. So the idea that they're like trying to break boundaries, I think, is at odds with the actual design that they came up with for the logo itself. There's been a lot of controversy around the move. We're not going to get into any of that.
No, we won't. It doesn't matter.
It's just like, in marketing fundamentals, they did nothing to leverage the history of the brand, and they did nothing to appeal to their market. So what are they doing?
Yeah. And you can imagine who their market is.
Oh,
like imagine who a luxury car. Again, BMW would be crazy to lose the white and blue like aircraft propeller. Like no, because they build airplane engines. Like they're. So yeah, I completely agree. I think they're getting a lot of hubbub.
Yep, but it's the wrong kind.
It's the wrong kind of hubbub. Like I would have loved them to launch like, check out this sweet new F-Type electric. And they'd have been like, oh wow, look at this F-Type electric. Like, this is a crazy car, and that's the hubbub with the rebrand. With the rebrand car.
I would have loved to see like a James Bond tie-in.
Oh, there's so many options,
right? Because Jags are almost kind of like Aston Martins for people who can't afford Aston Martins to begin with.
Yep.
And the fact that they're going like all electric has a high tech angle that they could have played with. I think there's a lot of cool stuff they could have done with
it. There's so many British superheroes too, like or like you could
British superheroes.
Well, you could say like it's like a modern spy espionage superhero, like the Bourne. The entire Bourne franchise,
That's American.
Is it American?
That's
I thought
American.
he was.
No,
he's American. Oh, that's right. He's CIA. Okay, Jason Bond. Well, a lot of their films are based over in Europe, but like I would still do it. I would pair. James Bond is like the biggest British spy.